Welcome all of you to the last section of the first unit, The Adventures of the Banyan Tree. Could you remember the story the last days? How was the story ended? You watched the beautiful fighting scene of the mongoose and the cobra? Yeah. Everything you heard and you studied. Today we can continue the next session, the last 3 paragraphs. Please open your book. All of you, please open your book. Okay, can we continue? The banyan tree was also the setting for what we were to call the strange case of the grey squirrel and the white rat. The white rat was grandfather's. He had bought it from the bazaar for 4 annas. But I would often take it with me into the roots and branches of the old tree. Banyan tree, where it soon struck up a friendship with one of the squirrels. They would go off together on little excursions among the branches. The boy is describing the story. What he says, the banyan tree was also the setting for what we are to call the strange case of the grey squirrel and the white rat. Something happened there. The white rat was grandfather's. You see white rat? Here we can see a white rat. The white rat was grandfather's. From where he bought, from where grandfather bought the white rat? From the bazaar, from the market for 4 annas. But I would often take it with me. The boy says often he take the white rat with him into the roots and branches of the old banyan tree. Banyan tree, where it soon struck up a friendship with one of the squirrels. Easily they became friends. Who became friends? Not only the boy, the squirrel and the white rat became thick friends. They would go off together on little excursions among the branches. The boy says they started to travel together. Where? On the top branches of the old banyan tree. This paragraph is describing the friendship between the white rat and the squirrel. Understand, it's very easy one. We can easily understand it. Not much difficult meanings in it. Only one thing. What is the strange case of white rat and grey squirrel? Only that we can discuss in it. Okay, read it. Complete it. What do you understand? In this paragraph, we can see a new guest. Who is that? The white rat. Can continue the next paragraph. Then the squirrel started building a nest. At first, she tried building it in my pockets. And when I went indoors and changed my clothes, I would find straw and grass falling out. Then one day, grandmother's knitting was missing. We hunted for it everywhere but without success. Next day, I saw something glinting in the hole in the banyan tree. Going up to investigate, I saw that it was the end of grandmother's steel knitting needle. On looking further, I discovered that the hole was crammed with the knitting, and amongst the wool were 3 baby squirrels, all of them white. Read it. Read the paragraph. Same as the above, not much difficult words in it. Okay, we can read it. Then the squirrel started building a nest. Squirrel started to building a nest upon the banyan tree. At first, she tried building it in my pockets. The boy says, at first the squirrel tried to make nest in the boy's pocket. And when I went indoors, when I goes to indoor to change my dress, change my clothes, I would find, what did I find? Straw and grass falling from his pocket. Who tried to make nest in the pocket? The squirrel. Then one day grandmother's knitting was missing. The needle was missing. We hunted for it. We searched for it everywhere. I and my grandmother searched for the knit everywhere, but without success. We can't find it. Where it? Next day, I saw something glinting, something shining in the hole in the banyan tree. Going up to investigate, I saw that it was the end of grandmother's steel knitting needle. Maybe what he found there? We can read. Looking further, the boy found that the hole on the banyan tree, the hole was crammed. What is crammed? To push something, to fill with something. The hole was crammed with knitting. The hole was pushed up with or filled with the knitting. And among the wool, can see in the wool were 3 baby squirrels. What is the speciality of the baby squirrels? All of them white in color. All of them white in color. Understand that? Understand the story? It is very easy to understand. Please read it. Not much difficult words in it. Okay, we can read the last and small paragraph. Okay. Grandfather had never seen white squirrels before, and we gazed at them in wonder. We were puzzled for some time, but when I mentioned the white rat's frequent visits to the tree, Grandfather told me that the rat must be the father. Rats and squirrels were related to each other, he said, and so it was quite possible for them to have offspring, in this case white squirrels. We can read it again. Please go through this first. Same as the above, it is easy to understand. This is the last and ending of the story. Grandfather had never seen white squirrels before, and we gazed at them in wonder. Everyone is surprised. Why? The little ones are white colored squirrels. Could you remember the story we discussed earlier? Both of them go for excursions, and the grey squirrel and the white rat, we discussed everything. We gazed at them in wonder. We were puzzled for some time. We surprised. But when I mentioned the white rat's frequent visits to the tree, I told to my grandfather, no need of such surprise. Why? Frequently they go for where? Upon the tree. Grandfather told me that the rat must be the father. He says, the grandfather says, no doubt, then he may be the father of the white squirrels. Grandfather told me that the rat must be the father. Rats and squirrels were related to each other, he said. And so it was quite possible for them to have offsprings. What's offspring? Little ones. In this case, white squirrel. No doubt this is the surprising scene and strange case of the grey squirrel and the white rat. This is the strange case of the grey squirrel and the white rat. Understand it? Please read it again. After that, after reading the story, I will write 2 questions on the board, copy down and complete it today itself. Sections. Understand the story? Could you remember the story from the very beginning to the end now? The boy, the banyan tree, the grandfather, the grandmother, then what? Reached a squirrel, next a mongoose and a cobra, the myna and the crow, the jungle crow, and everything. Could you remember? The scene, the strange thing happened. Totally the boy spent a beautiful and a surprising vacation, no doubt. From the last paragraphs we can understand it. Can we enter into the next section? Small questions. Okay, copy down it. Please write down the question. First one, what is the strange case of white rat and the grey squirrel? What is the strange case of white rat and the grey squirrel? Second question, imagine that the boy is telling his friend about his excitement of seeing white squirrel for the first time in his life. What would be the telephonic conversation between them? Prepare the telephonic conversation between the boy and his friend. About what? About his excitement of seeing the white squirrel for the first time in his life. Third and the last question. And among the wool were the 3 baby squirrels, all of them white. The boy couldn't stop wondering about the white squirrels. Prepare the diary entry of the boy. What's the question? Prepare the diary entry of the boy. Please copy down it. The 3 questions, copy down it. Read the last 3 paragraphs today itself and try to complete the question answers today. Okay. Today we completed the first unit, the Adventures in a Banyan Tree. It's a beautiful story of the boy, how he spent his vacation. Like this story? Yes. Then in the next class, we can do more activities. Okay. Study it and complete the work today itself. Thank you.